I had an opportunity to go to Adam Hall, North America in Riverdale, New Jersey. They are the parent company to LD Systems, and my objective was to listen and demo and really spec out the Maui 11, the Maui 28 G3, and the Maui 44 G2. You want to come along with me? Great, because we're going to do it right now. Hey, what's up, Jack?
Justin, how are you?
How are you, man?
Welcome to Adam Hall.
What's going on, everybody? Justin Schwartz here with my friend Jack Kuhn from LD Systems. Jack, thank you so much for having us down today. We really appreciate it.
Thanks for coming.
And I want to introduce you and LD Systems here to our audience. And it's a brand that I've had some really good luck with lately. We've done some reviews, and everyone that I've sold it to has been really, really happy with it. But I don't know everything about LD the way I do with some other brands. So I was excited to have you guys come and invite us here today to kind of tour the facility, go through a lot of the products, but learn more about LD.
Absolutely, let's fill you in.
So tell us a little bit about, first of all, what's your role here? And then also tell us a little about the history of LD Systems.
Excellent. So I have been with Adam Hall, is the mothership out of Germany. I've been with them for 11 years. And Adam Hall started circa 1975, 76, I think it's 75. And we started with road case parts in Europe. We're still very, very big there with that.
Interesting.
It's a bread and butter part of our company for sure. Butterfly latches, handles, anything having to do with road case parts we handle.
Specifically with LD.
Yep.
One of the things that really I kind of gravitated towards is that it's very good quality. And then comparatively for the price, it seems to be one of the better values that I'm now seeing out there in the marketplace. But for specifically DJs, because you know our audience is a lot of DJs, event professionals.
Certainly.
What would you say LD does that DJs would be interested in or would find valuable in the way that they engineer and the way they manufacture and they put product out?
Very serious with our engineering. We have an acoustic chamber in Germany where everything is measured to the T. If you go to our website, you will see that if there's any spec that you want, all the fake the fake wattage specs that started in the 80s or so, the real
peak
RMS,
power?
peak power,
Yeah.
thank you, genuine SPL levels, all of that stuff is there. I think we're a very transparent company in terms of our products and how we manufacture them and what's in them. And I mean, any information about it, you can get it right on the website. And of course, I'm here to deliver that as well.
Yes.
But I think we like to deliver the best product we can to the consumer, and we like to communicate with them so they know exactly what they're getting.
I think another important thing to know for DJs is that LD Systems, although they're a German-based company, and wow, I've learned a lot about German engineering and manufacturing, it is different in Europe, I'll tell you, they're serious. But I'm here in New Jersey.
Hey.
Lovely New Jersey. I actually made a left-hand turn. I was very excited about that. If you don't know about New Jersey, it's very difficult to make left-hand turns here.
Yeah.
So I did it. But we're here, you have a full staff, you have a full team of people here in the States.
Absolutely.
So if there's an issue with anything, if you have questions,
Yep.
You're not just a company based in Germany that's just shipping stuff out here. You have roots here.
Every department you would need, we have our sales department, we have our customer service department, we have our actual service department, we have our warehouse, we have it all right here in Riverdale, New Jersey. Full warehouse, et cetera, et cetera.
If you remember, not too long ago, we put together a blog, an article on the DJsGuru.com on the Maui series because it is such a sprawling series of portable column arrays that you really needed to kind of look at them specifically and figure out what they were made of, what they do, and what they were best for. But now we have the man here, plus we have the speakers here to really go deeper into that article and learn more about the Maui series, and then most importantly, we're gonna get a chance to demo them, right?
Let's fire them up.
I want to hear them. So I'm gonna hand this over to Jack Going to ask some questions to Jack, and I'm going to let him do his thing. We're going to start off talking about the Maui 11 G3, the Maui 28 G3, and then we're also going to touch on the Maui 44 G2.
Correct.
Starting with the Maui 11, I'm going to hand it over to Jack.
Excellent. We're going to talk about specifically the Maui 11 G3, the Maui 28 G3, and eventually the Maui 44 G2. The G3 11 now has 2 8s in the subwoofer. This section is a filler piece, and there are 6 3.5s throughout there with 2 1-inch drivers up top. It is 125 max SPL, 730 watts RMS, and 1460 peak. We have the Maui 28 here, G3, that is certainly the hit of the two, without question. We have upgraded the subwoofer to a single 12, which used to be 2 8s, so now it's a single 12. Wonderful bottom. As you notice, both models, they're now at the front of the grill of the subwoofer, so it's a real sleek look, modeled after the original 44. And again, so you have a single 12, you have 12 3.5s throughout here, and 2 1-inch drivers up top. The wattage and specs on it are 127 max SPL, 1030, 1030 watts RMS, and 2060 peak power.
Hi Jack, I have one question for you. Maui 11.
Yep.
When you first heard the G3 version, when you first saw it, what was the main or the first thing that stood out to you about it?
So I have to really give kudos to the engineers in Germany. They legitimately did some wonderful tuning on this. It's been upgraded to 2 8s, and I think the bottom end that you're going to get on that, as per the previous model, 3 6.5s, is a game changer to me.
All right, Maui 28 G3, same question.
Same answer. We went from 2 8s to a 12. That has been the big hit. This is just a spectacular model. Also wanted to reiterate, well, I haven't mentioned it yet, but I will. Both of these and the 44 can be used in cardioid mode. You can buy subs separately. Very easy to do. Basically, you're spinning the subwoofer backwards. You push the cardioid setting. You push extra SPL out the front. And it's a game changer and a difference, and I think you're going to see a lot of guys using it in the future.
So let me ask you a question on that. If you were to buy a portable column array system, let's say 2 Maui 28 G3,
yeah,
you now have the ability to purchase an additional 1 or 2 subwoofers to then pair with the existing system to throw it into cardioid mode, add additional low end.
Absolutely. Yep, on all 3 models.
And specifically cardioid mode.
Subs coming soon.
Will help to, specifically cardioid mode will help to push the bass forward, right?
Correct. Correct. Absolutely. So if you're playing a wedding with a nice glass wall that faces the 18th green and sound is ping-ponging every which way, that will absolutely, unquestionably help the cause. Plus, we also have a cardioid filter on all 3 models on the back of the Sats as well.
Good stuff, Jack. Thank you so much. Let's talk about the Maui 44 now.
Let's do it.
All right, now we're going to touch on the Maui 44 G2, which I was able to do a review video on and coined it the beast of portable column arrays.
Unquestionably, I agree. This has been just a spectacular seller for us. As I mentioned before, we've modeled the 2 new G3 models after the 44. With the column, the Sat column right up to the sub grill. Looks really sexy, has a great look to it. Specs wise, you have a 15-inch subwoofer. Just as in the 28, you have 12 3.5s throughout there. The only difference between the Sats in the 44 and the 28 is that the 44 has 4 half-inch drivers for dispersion purposes to throw further, because it's 1500 watts RMS, 132 max SPL, and 3000 peak power. Just an absolute beast, unquestionably.
What do you have inside those columns there? And one thing I realized when I did this review is there's a speaker in that whole column, right? And there's a lot of components in there.
Yep.
What do we got?
So it's a wall of sound, unquestionably. There's 6 3.5s in each column, so you have a total of 12 3.5s throughout there, and then 4 half-inch drivers up top.
That's serious.
definitely.
Where would you say this fits best? Another thing I thought was really cool about it when I did my review was the stereo Bluetooth and then the ability to wirelessly pair those. So for a DJ, you may not always have the need for that, but if you're talking hospitality or other situations where a beautiful column system like this might be useful, but then not having to put any wires or anything like that.
Yep.
I found that to be really cool. So tell us a little bit more about the stereo linking and the Bluetooth that's actually in this, which is different than the other Bluetooths you might find in lower quality speakers.
Right. So not to reiterate, just to make it clear, you can actually Bluetooth two of these together with no wires. I think for the most part, maybe in certain scenarios where you can't run cables, where it's just the setup is just impossible, you could use it for that. I do think most guys that I've spoken to anyways, production guys, DJs, I think most really want to wire it and don't want to rely on wireless Bluetooth. But I always use the example, you're driving to a gig in mid-February and you're going far from home and you get stuck in a snowstorm, and when you get there, the bride's in tears and she is expecting music right away, and instead of wiring everything, you can just Bluetooth it very quickly and just have it up and running in seconds.
Good stuff. All right, Jack, now, I think it's time to give these a listen. What do you say?
Oh, let's do it.
All right, we've got Maui 11, 28, and 44 set up over here. We got my man Jack over here running the sound, and I'm gonna go listen and hear them, and let's hear what we hear. So, go ahead, we're gonna do the Maui 11 first. I gotta say, so far I'm impressed. That little box right there is putting out all that sound. All right, we got the Maui 28 now. I definitely hear the difference. You hear a little bit more output. You can hear I'm talking louder. I wasn't sure which one it was. I thought it was 44. Wow. All right, we're moving to the 44 now. Okay, wow. Wow, okay. You're gonna hear more low end, definitely from that 15. I'm also speaking louder again. Yeah. Wow. That's the Maui 44. Now we just did the 11, the 28, the 44 all together like that. I heard them next to each other. You probably heard the differences, right? All sounded fantastic, but you could definitely hear that step up when we went from the 11 to the 28 to the 44. Now I want to hear it with more of like a hip hop song, so let's do that and we'll hear. All right, my man Jack, we're on song 2, a little hip hop. Here we go on the Maui 11. The west side right now. Maui 28, here we go. Definitely feel a little more low end there. Really solid. Alright, now let's move to the Maui 44. So the one thing that I did notice here specifically now, especially as I'm walking around, and I did some demoing and some stuff before we went on camera here, and I've talked about this before, the wave pattern on LD Systems products is really, really insane. Unless you are directly in front of that speaker, it sounds almost the same no matter where you are in the room. It's completely balanced, it's completely even, and it's very clear. So that's one of the things straight up right now that really stood out to me now, especially hearing them side by side. So I'm excited to get back to the studio. We'll kind of break down everything that we've learned and heard today, but I'm really excited to have had an opportunity to do this. and let's learn some more about Maui. All right, everybody, welcome back to the studio, and very, very exciting and great stuff. I was very, very pleased and happy to have been invited down to Adam Hall, North America. We had a great time with Jack and everybody there at the facility. Had a chance to check everything out, and as you saw, of course, listen to so many different things, and specifically here, the Maui 11, 28, and the 44. So the Maui 11 G3 to me is something for the event professional that is doing the smaller events and really wants to maximize that portability and output plus the style and the look of it. That footprint was really, really incredible to me, and then being able to hear it was even better because I did not expect to see that small of a footprint and then to hear that kind of output coming out of it. And it definitely did not perform like the 28 and the 44, so it's gonna have that kind of line in the sand that you're not gonna get past. So if you're doing, you know, weddings or something like that, probably not the best system for you, but if you're doing lounges, if you're doing live music or smaller DJ events in smaller event places, you know, more like bars or things like that, that is where I think this system would fit best. The Maui 28 is definitely more of a jack of all trades and more comparative to the medium size, small to medium size venue and events for the DJs out there. And if you're a musician or doing any type of live music, you're also going to be able to handle larger event sizes with that 12-inch woofer. I was really, really impressed with the overall sound and output, and as I stated earlier, the evenness of the Maui 28. It was a big difference from the G2 version, and it is now what I think to be a serious player in that category between, you know, like $1,200 and $1,900, where you have a lot of brands in that wheelhouse of price. And now you have another player really to talk about, black or white with the 28 and the 11. So definitely check out that as well. Now, the Maui 44, what can we say about it that we haven't already said before? It's a beast. It has that wall of sound, which really, really separates everything and is very, very balanced. So Maui 44, the other thing is just the low end, and I think you really could hear it in the video as I did the recording back of it. I listened and you really could kind of hear and almost feel the low end frequency that it creates that the 28 and the 11 just don't. So where is that going to fit best? Jack had said it earlier, but I will re-say it. Event DJ, live musicians, where you are moving around a lot and you're doing larger events where you need more sound, more low end, and the smaller style like the Maui 28 just is not cutting it. This is now that next level. Is it going to do 1,000 people? No, definitely not. I hate to talk about people, but it's more for that medium to medium large size venue where you're doing events in halls or spaces like that, or even outdoors. It definitely would sound great outdoors too, in a live open space where maybe you can get even more in that type of environment. So anyway, all to say that they all sounded phenomenal. They all had a different specific function, I think, for each potential user, and obviously they're at different price points, so you can kind of decide which makes the most sense for you. And of course, that's always what we're trying to do here at the DJs Guru, is to help you figure out what's going to work best for you. If you have any questions, please drop them down below. You can always reach out to us at thedjsguru.com, of course. Lastly, we just want to give a big shout out to LD Systems, Gabriel and Jack over there, and everybody else over at LD Systems in Riverdale. Thank you. We appreciate your time and for allowing us to show our audience the facility and get a chance to really demo these things in a great space and a great environment. So thank you very much. And thank you all of you for watching this video. Hope you enjoyed it. We really enjoyed making it. And as I always like to say, we'll see you on the flip side. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.